So before, 12 millihenry was the one that was from power to the collector. Now I have the 7 millihenry from power to the collector and the 12 millihenry across the LEDs. So I'm at 3.6 volts. I have my same force wave there with bringing, and this is the collector and this is the base. And that's without the diode connected. Right. And that's disconnected. So my probe there wasn't on. And it took a little bit to restart that. I had to increase the voltage a little bit. And what do I get? So my collector has a huge low spike. My outside coil across the LEDs has a low spike and not very much power. And just touching these together is really what helps it. The resistance was a little low. But if I connect that back down, reconnect that ground, and I get nice power, much higher frequency. And again, that's my collector and my ground. And if I increase my voltage, I don't know, that's even 16 volts. 19. See, there I start to get that flyback. I get a significant brightness change. And that's my gate. That's my gate. And that's across the LEDs. So I'm at 30 volts and 30 milliamps. 31 volts. I can't go any higher. So that's 3 volts with that diode connected. 0 milliamps, but that doesn't matter. Okay. Turn off my power supply. Like now. And the capacitance in the power supply is enough to keep that up a little bit. So I don't even have an extra capacitor. 5 volts. And with at 29 volts, but I have like no power there. My gate's ringing low for a long time. Those are really just barely on. But in this mode I don't have any I don't have any bringing up, you know, that curve that goes up. Well, I can change the resistance down to 100k ohm instead of a meg ohm, and then I get these mini spikes without the diode in there, and that's got, if I can stabilize that, maybe run stop it. No, that's the gate signal, and that's across the LEDs, but they're only just barely on, and that's 0.72 volts. So let's see if I can catch that here. Since this should be the gate, still. And it should resemble that. And that's at 50 microseconds, and this is at 2 microseconds. Oh, there they are. Yeah, see, I zoomed too far in. So, I do have that ring up happening across that. As I increase the voltage, okay, so if I decrease the voltage, then that becomes wider and wider. So for a short wave in there, this is a brighter light, but that says 10 milliamps. I increase the voltage a little bit and drops down to 0. Increase the voltage some more. And that starts to look like Laser Saber's last probings. Okay. So again, yellow's the collector, that's the base. So it's only on for, well, I don't know when it's on now. It must go on just that little bit. And then so it goes on right there for 1 microsecond, and then I get back rings. But that could be because of the capacitance in the scope probes. I'm at 23 volts and barely at light. So I can go up to 31 volts. And they're actually kind of dim, but it is at 0 amps. So if I turn off the power supply now, And that's that bright ring back that happens right there. There. I'm going to turn the voltage back down because I end up popping this diode. It's only 1N40, 148. It's kind of low amperage for it. But then in this direction I don't really get that. Well, it looks like it. It's double spiking there. So that's the collector voltage slowly going down while it's off. See, I think that's actually that wave. And it stopped. There's something of my body affecting this, because if I go here, right, it looks like that actually stopped. Well, actually I have that short pole. But now I'm at 20 milliamps. But see, after that happens, that is higher than my initial input voltage. I wonder if I can trigger on the other side. That same thing. 100 nanoseconds. Nanoseconds. That's 100 nanosecond division. And it doesn't happen all the time. That's a long time when it didn't happen. And then it happens. That's with a lower inductance and then a higher inductance. Or, you know, the lower is driving a higher. I don't know if increasing the LEDs will fix that. That's maxed out on voltage. And that's happening more often every third or fourth cycle there. And at 25 volts it doesn't do that at all. So I added 2 more LEDs. So at 26 volts, that excess voltage is happening more often. Channel 1. It's at negative. Well, that's 50 volts actually. So at 26, so if I put this at negative 2.6, and that's the 0. And the yellow is the collector. And that's with the diode. And without the diode. At the same voltage. So now my blue goes way down, unless I've fried my diode. Right, so my blue is truncated out. That's with the diode, without the diode. So that's interesting. I should go from the collector back to the positive. And then I shorted something out.